So this is day 2 of my 3-part series for Christmas. So this one's specifically for Christmas Day. On Christmas Day there can be a lot of challenges, both physically and mentally. Maybe the body's feeling a little bit tired or stuck from sitting around. Maybe you're just tired from kind of family and having got to this point. This sequence is going to give you an energy boost, but in a gentle, nourishing way. You could take it at the start of the day, or you could take it sometime towards the late afternoon when you're kind of just about starting to finish your digesting period. So let's get going. For this video, I'd recommend that you have a strap or a hand towel. It's one thing that we will be using. We're going to start this little sequence seated. So you could be sat cross-legged, and if that's not great for your spine, sit up on something, sit on a cushion or maybe a bolster or a foam block if you have one. Otherwise, you could also come kneeling, which is how I'm going to sit. This position is sometimes a little bit intense in the legs and the knees, so if this doesn't work for you, find a comfortable position that does, maybe legs crossed, or maybe you're up on the toes. From here, take your hands out in front of you, palms turn up. Give the shoulders a little circle first. And now take your right arm on top and give yourself a big hug. And then wrap in. Use your fingers to help wrap a bit closer. Take a couple of deep breaths here, filling not just the belly but also the chest and the upper back. Notice how that slow, deep inhale actually increases the stretch in the shoulders. You could breathe here for 3 more breaths, or if you have some more room, bring the hands towards each other. Eventually, fingers catch the thumb and then the palms, eagle arms. Whether you're here or here, lift your elbows up, but your shoulders down. Releasing the upper back, the upper spine a little bit with this. And then unwind. Take the fingers out for a second, feel the chest open, lift the chest. And then hands come forwards once more. Right arm on top this time. Left arm on top this time for a big hug. And wrap in. And again, you could be here, or you could be here. Either way, elbows up, shoulders down the back. And you might be using the breath to open through the upper back, like you could breathe between the shoulder blades. Jaw soft. One more. And release. Open the arms a little wide. Feel the chest open. Look up. And then release down. Give the shoulders a little shrug. Movement in there. And let's come to the hands and knees now. So find your way around. A little gentle cat-cow to begin. So you might flatten the feet down towards the mat so your ankles get a stretch, which they may need. And then from here, lengthening the spine. And looking forwards as the tailbone lifts. Keep the back of your neck long, so rather than crunching, keep it reaching away from your tailbone. And then your breath out draws you back in. Inhale goes forwards. Your exhale takes you back. Bringing movement into the spine. Simultaneously stretching out the back and the front of the body. This can be helpful to digestion. You can take a couple more like this, or if you feel you want to move a bit more freely, maybe wiggle the spine side to side, take a little circle with the shoulders. I often do this rather than cat-cow, because sometimes my shoulders feel like they need a little bit of a animal kind of wiggle, feeling in. And then coming back to centre. From here we're going to tuck the toes and then find a down dog, lifting the hips. Keep your down dog really loose to begin, so your knees can be a little bit bent. But establish your hands and feet, so hands shoulder width apart, fingers really spread. Your feet about hip distance apart, so they're a bit closer together than the hands. And the knees bend as the hips go up along the spine. And inviting a calm, easy breath here, deep, but without strain. And then lower the knees down. And from here bring your right foot forwards. You might use your hand to bring the foot a little bit forwards. We'll come to a kneeling position. You could also double your mat up to pad your knee if that's helpful. From here lift the arms, take a moment to breathe in and breathe out. You could lower the hips gently forwards and down. Keep the spine long. There's a gentle lift through the front of the pelvis. If you were wearing a belt, it's as though you draw the belt buckle up slightly, so you keep long in your lower back. This is a really helpful position to stretch out the psoas muscle on the left side of the body, running all the way through from the inner thigh, through the bowl of the pelvis and up into the lower spine. And we get a little short when we sit a lot, so lengthening. And then release the hands down. From here, keep your left hand on the floor, lift your right hand up into a twist. You can tuck your toes, and lift your back knee. Finding a little twist here. Your back thigh is pressing up to continue that same stretch. And then from here, lower down, step that foot back into a down dog. Take a breath in, and a breath out. Knees down, left foot steps forwards. Use your hand if it's helpful. And kneeling position. Arms lift up. And perhaps the pelvis lowers down again. Again, keeping a little lift through the front of the pelvis, the way your belt would be if you were wearing one. And my palms are facing each other, so my triceps are wrapped in slightly. And I've got lots of space for my shoulders here. My hands are coming down, left hand coming up into the twist. So really spread the arms wide as you turn the chest, so that arm starts to move straight up. And then again, you could tuck the back toes and lift the knee. Taking a little depth in this lunge. And if you wonder where you should be looking, you could look down to the floor, you could look forwards, or you could look up. Sometimes looking up can strain the neck, and sometimes it feels good, so explore, see what works today. And then as you exhale next, hand comes down, step back to a plank position. Take a breath here. And then slowly lower down. From here come all the way to the floor, lowering slowly. And then take the hands by the shoulders. And just a low cobra, keeping it fairly gentle, shoulders draw back, lift the chest. Keep some of the weight in your hands if this is uncomfortable in the belly. And then begin to press up and come to hands and knees. We're going to come all the way to lie down on the back now. And it's time for us to use that strap or a hand towel if you have one.
I'm going to lie back and bend my knees. Take your strap or towel out and can you loop it around the right foot? Ideally, the strap, if you're working with one, is closer towards the ball of the foot than the arch. And I tend to lengthen the leg forwards at a lower angle to start off with, so I can really get length through the whole leg, so my leg becomes much straighter, and I create a little bit of openness to the front of the hip. From here, I'll start to take the leg up. And if it gets to that point where your knee starts to bend, pause, lower the leg a little bit and then re-lengthen. It's perhaps more productive to keep the leg straight here. Once you're in place, lengthen your other leg. Just 2 breaths. These are my favourite stretches. And then from here, take the strap into your right hand. Take your left hand on the front of your hip, left hip, so you can start to open the leg to the side. I have to turn my foot out a little bit, so I open the hip, and then lower the leg out and down. If you start to feel your left glute lift off the floor, could you reroute it? And that might mean the leg has to come up a little higher instead. You'll notice there's a little bit of core work here as well to keep that in line. Just one more breath. And then coming back. From here, you're going to switch sides. So you might do a little nifty switch like that, or you might come out and re-loop. Either way, once you're in position, lengthen the leg. Then slowly elevate. Just to that point where you feel the knee is maybe about to buckle and bend, and then pausing there, keeping the leg long. And you might straighten the right leg. Strap a towel in your left hand, right hand to the hip, stabilizing, and the leg opens out. And if, like me, you're close to a wall, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. It might restrict you, but it also might offer you a little bit of support, which can be quite nice. I'm quite enjoying this right now. And the breath still that calm, steady breath. So it energizes you. And it's wonderful to work hard in yoga, but yoga is really helpful to giving you energy and bringing rest and a sense of well-being into the body, into the mind. So it's good to use it for that reason too. Slowly coming back. And then let's release. Take your tool, your strap or towel off to one side, and then come into lay down. Come into Shavasana for a few moments rest. And you might keep the knees bent, maybe resting in on each other in Shavasana. It's not traditional alignment, but sometimes that feels really good for the lower back if it's feeling a little sore right now. Of course, feel free to lengthen the legs if that works for you. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. So no more control of the breath, body calm and still. Now, as you continue to rest here, you might stay here for a minute or all the way up to 5-10 minutes even. And I'm going to thank you for your time, thanks for joining me, and I hope that gives you a little bit of energy, makes the body feel a little more free as you move forwards with your day or evening. Thank you.